I'll tell you this, the one that really jumped out to me, and I know I'm a little high on my sauce here because I predicted Bo Nix would go to the Broncos, and I watched him play live twice, and I loved him when I watched him play Utah and Washington. So that he did well, it's a confirmation bias, but he received less two-tier votes than Caleb or Drake May. So is that telling me that GMs are telling you we love Sean Payton, or there are still people that think he's overachieving and he has a low ceiling?
Colin, it's like one fewer tier 2 vote than those guys. I've got no worry about how anyone's seeing him. I think they really like him. And one of the great quotes I put in there was, hey, the order of this class is not set. Jaden Daniels looks great, but this is going to be a referendum in the quarterback developing abilities of Cliff Kingsbury and Sean Payton as much as anything. So I think that's a very bold endorsement of Bo Nix. And for these guys that have only played a year, sometimes they get tier 4 votes. That not enough information is one of the sort of bailouts for that. So you got some people who haven't seen him or didn't see him enough or just want to see more. I think there's lots of optimism on Bo Nix. And like I said, even some who haven't set in stone what the order of this class is going to be, and they're allowing for the fact that maybe Bo Nix in a year is the one at the top.
The AFC West is better.
Or that too.
I don't know about that.
Well, you got the Chiefs.
Okay.
You got the Broncos, and all the insiders are pretty high on the Broncos.
Everyone is really high on the Broncos. I'm thinking mid.
Really?
As Brian Daboll would say, mid.
Why do you think that?
6, 7. Boom. Just did it. That's a meme. So why? I don't know. Bo Nix, it's still out. It's his second year. I always look at the sophomore slump. I feel like every quarterback
had better stats last year than Jaden Daniels.
You're saying last year. But what about this year where the sophomore slump happens?
And it
happens to all quarterbacks, in my opinion. Name one that hasn't had that happen in a sophomore slump.
CJ Stroud, everyone thought stunk last year.
He did have it.
He won a playoff game last year.
Yeah, but you felt like he wasn't playing up to the caliber of what he had the first season.
Running for his life because the offensive line was god awful.
So who's to say that's
not a sophomore slump on CJ Stroud?
Okay,
that is injuries to the offensive line. That's injuries to Tank Dell, one of his best receivers. Nico Collins missed time, and Stroud still won a playoff game with that team 2 years in a row.
Okay. Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, we'll see what happens this season. But Terry McLaurin, we all think is going to get paid and show up to camp. They added Deebo Samuel. They added Laramie Tunsil he took Houston's best offensive lineman and added it to the mix.
Well, statistically,
Cliff Kingsbury's still there.
Back to Stroud, he did. His stats are they all took a dive in his second year. Now, like you said,
that's a slump.
There were some reasons.
He won a playoff game.
That's a slump. If they took a dive,
not a slump.
If they took a dive, it's not just like a. It's a dive.
3 less touchdowns. It was so it wasn't huge, but yeah, the numbers were different. I'm
I like saying a dive.
I'm hesitant to say dive, but the sophomore thing is a thing, and we're going to see. And
he had a better record last year.
Okay,
his rookie year.
Okay, say the Denver Broncos are better than mid.
This was better than story, though.
Wait, where do you think that the Denver Broncos will be? You think they're top 10?
I think they can win the division.
You think they're top 10?
Yeah.
Wow. I did not. That's why I have them mid. I don't have them in my top 10.
I think they can win the division. You don't think they can win the West?
I do not think.
Wait.
The Denver Broncos are back, and they're not just knocking on the door, they're kicking it down. In 2025, a storm is brewing in the Mile High City, and its name is Bo Nix. This isn't just a quarterback, this is a revolution. A 4-year-old phenom who's already shattered expectations, defied doubters, and set the NFL ablaze with a rookie season that rewrote the Broncos' record books. But here's the question burning in every fan's mind. Is Bo Nix the Drew Brees 2.0 that Sean Payton's been dreaming of? Or are we witnessing the spark of something even bigger? But before we crown him the king of the AFC, let's rewind to where this wildfire started and why some still dare to doubt him. Let's set the stage. Liang Arshasi. Bo Nix steps into the NFL as the last first-round quarterback picked, with skeptics screaming he was a reach, a bust waiting to happen. But oh, how wrong they were. This kid didn't just play, he dominated. With 29 touchdown passes, the second most by a rookie in NFL history, and 3,775 passing yards, Nix led the Broncos to a 10-7 record and their first playoff berth since Peyton Manning's Super Bowl 50 glory. 7 games with 200-plus yards, 2 TDs, and 0 picks, the most by any rookie ever. And let's talk efficiency. A 1.8% turnover-worthy play rate, tied for 5th best in the league. This wasn't luck. This was precision. Sean Payton, the mastermind who turned Drew Brees into a legend, saw something special. He didn't just draft Nix, he built an offense around him. Why? Because Nix's college sack rate was microscopic, a stat Payton obsessed over. In 2023, the Broncos gave up 51 sacks. Nix barely touched. His quick reads and mobility turned defenses into spectators. But here's the kicker. Some GMs still gave him fewer Tier 2 votes than Caleb Williams and Drake May. Are they blind? Or is there a hidden ceiling we're not seeing? So, if Nix was this good as a rookie, why are some still sleeping on him? Let's dive into the sophomore slump debate that's got the NFL buzzing. Here's where the drama heats up. The NFL is brutal on second-year quarterbacks. The sophomore slump isn't a myth, it's a graveyard of hype. C.J. Stroud. His stats dipped in year 2, 3 fewer touchdowns, despite a playoff win. Jaden Daniels. Stilun proven in 2025. And now, all eyes are on Bo Nix. Critics are circling like vultures, whispering he's due for a fall. He overachieved, they say. Sean Payton's system carried him. But let's get real. This isn't just about stats. It's about mindset. Nix isn't flinching. He spent his offseason training with Drew Brees, soaking up wisdom from the man who defined Payton's system. He's not just ready, he's hungry. I want to be the best in the world, Nix declared, aiming not just for the playoffs, but for the AFC crown. Yet, ESPN's Mike Clay projects a dip. 3,510 passing yards, 24 TDs, 11 INTs. Is this a slump, or are analysts underestimating a quarterback who's already defied the odds? While the doubters debate, Sean Payton's building a juggernaut. Let's see how he's arming Nix with weapons to silence the critics. Sean Payton isn't just coaching, he's crafting a monster. The 2025 Broncos are loaded, and Nix is at the helm of a revamped offense. Cortland Sutton, coming off a 1,000-yard season, is a proven WR1. Marvin Mims Jr., a fantasy football breakout with an 89.7 PFF receiving grade late last year. Add tight end Evan Engram, a free agent steal from Jacksonville, and rookie RB RJ Harvey, whose 97th percentile breakaway rate screams big plays, and don't sleep on the offensive line best in the NFL with a 16.2% pressure rate allowed. But it's not just offense. The defense, led by Patrick Surtain II, fresh off a Defensive Player of the Year award, is a nightmare. Rookie CB Yadai Barons, 91. 1 PFF coverage grade in college hints at a shutdown secondary. Edge rushers Jonathan Cooper and Nick Bonito could be the league's best tandem. With Jonah Ellis and others forming a relentless rotation, this isn't a team, it's a war machine. But can they topple the Chiefs? With this roster, the AFC West is on notice. But can the Broncos really dethrone Kansas City? Let's talk about the ultimate showdown. The Kansas City Chiefs have ruled the AFC West for 9 straight years. Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, a dynasty that suffocated hope in Denver. But 2025, this is war. The Broncos split their matchups with the Chiefs last year, including a 38-0 rout in Week 18. Sportsbooks pegged the Chiefs as favorites at -120, but Denver's at +300, and insiders are buzzing. Kay Adams, after visiting training camp, didn't just predict playoffs, she said, Super Bowl. Sean Payton's confidence is infectious. At a 33-minute press conference, he doubled down, our defense is elite, and Bo Nix is our guy. Despite a shaky preseason, Nix threw an interception under pressure from Jonathan Cooper. Payton's unfazed. Nick Bonito's foot injury against the 49ers is back tomorrow. The Broncos are healthy, hungry, and ready to crush. But if Nix stumbles, the Chiefs will feast. Is Denver ready to seize the crown? The stage is set, but the spotlight's on Bo Nix. Can he deliver on the hype? Let's wrap this up with the stakes. Bo Nix is no longer a prospect, he's a problem. The NFL's next nightmare, molded by Sean Payton. backed by a roster built for chaos, but the whispers persist. Is he overrated? Will the sophomore slump drag him down? Or is he the spark that ignites a Broncos dynasty? Patrick Surtain II says Nix will make a lot of noise in 2025. Analysts predict he could crack the top 5 in Broncos passing history this year. The numbers don't lie. 10 wins, 29 TDs, a playoff berth in year 1. This is no fluke. This is destiny. Denver's coming for the AFC, and Bo Nix is leading the charge. Who's ready for the ride? Hit that subscribe button. Because the Broncos' 2025 journey is just getting started. Will Bo Nix be the NFL's next legend? Drop your thoughts below.